Welcome back, listeners. We have on the line Dr. Leahcim Semaj. I'm not sure if you need any introduction, Doctor. You're such a well-known figure in this country and around the region that I don't know if I can introduce you anymore.
You'll be surprised. Yes.
So, Doc, how are you?
I'm good.
Wonderful. Doc, we're taking a look at the creative knowledge industry sector within the country, within the context of its potential to really replace many of the traditional industries that we've been struggling with over the years. And we're just trying to get an understanding and a feel as to what exactly is this creative knowledge sector, how can it be harnessed, and why is it we're not seeing the kind of growth and development that we should, and if we are of the view that the government is taking the right kind of policy decisions in relation to its growth and development. Yes, Doctor.
Once we start to believe in these things and we start to demand it, then we will now get the mechanisms that we need now to deepen it. Because let's face it, you realize that most people who have done well using Jamaican music and culture, they did it on their own because of the limited amount of state support. Other countries have high schools for the performing arts, where if a child should involve themselves too much in performing arts and so on and music while they're in school, they probably get expelled.
And that for me is an area that I find a little ridiculous. We have done so well in track and field. Yet if you go out to the GC Foster complex, which is supposed to be a nurturing ground for talent, it's run down and dilapidated.
Absolutely.
And if we really recognize the potential of athletics and track and field that we have latent in this country, we should be spending money out at GC Foster to put in all the latest equipment and technology out there to get us to do even more.
That's the gap I'm talking between national culture and popular culture. Now the national culture now saying that look, take it even further. The Ministry of Education does not support athletics and sport activities in schools. The Ministry of Education. Once you reach fourth form, sports activities, schools have to find their own money to do those things. Yet still, it is one of the entities that puts Jamaica on the map and earns the country some serious revenue. I mean, we should be making sure that our whatever athletic talent. I spoke to a coach recently, earlier in the year on the lead up of the developmental meet, leading up the champs. This coach told me that a developmental meet in St. Elizabeth, there were 38 heats in the class 4 girls 100 meters. You hear me? 38 heats in the girls 100 meters race. What this means, large numbers of Jamaican girls now, following what we did out in Beijing, I said, but my goodness, if I can run, my life can be very different. And from class 4, when you have 38 heats, the amount of children can you imagine if we were supporting that now with the appropriate coaching and nutrition and so on. So we produce world talent. So that's the kind of gap when I talk about between popular and national culture. Now, all of that takes place independent of the Ministry of Education. That's it, we don't have money for any of those guys. Any school can't find money for their sports program and so on. You're on your own. So that's the linkages. That's where the national institutions have to find a way. By fourth form, PE is not a part of most schools' curriculum. So if you're not on the school team or so on, you don't involve in whatever talent you have, you're on your own. So it's looking at those things that we do well, almost from a branding standpoint. What is it you do better than the rest of the world? We, as Jamaicans, we can say sports. We outperform the rest of the world. We can say music. Jamaica, how many countries have a music form that has colonized the world? Yeah?
and yet we don't have a school of music that is fully equipped and structured to take advantage of this.
And it's only recently now that you have a person like Ibo Cooper back into the school of music now, where he as a world-class musician and so on now can help the performing arts section so that students can get the kind of training above and beyond just the raw talent.
So Doc, if we're really to harness and take advantage of this knowledge creative sector in a very serious way, what is the first thing that we have to do, must do? Because We're coming to the end of the time, but we just need to know one thing that we must do.
The one thing, first of all, is self-acceptance. Just don't worry about what we can't do and we're not doing. Let's just make a list of all the things that we do well, one, as well as anybody else, or better than. And let's now become the best in the world at those things. Let us start putting our talent and our effort and our skills behind those things. Let's build Jamaica around those things and infuse it into everything we do. So, for example, if you take in sports, so we start to build the Jamaican athletes and the Jamaican teams, but then all of a sudden now, other people elsewhere will want to come here to train with our coaches, use our facilities. America has hundreds of sports teams. Can you imagine during the off-season, during the winter, all of them coming to Jamaica to use our facility, to eat our food, to be infused in our... There are towns, Branson, Missouri is built totally around music. All the major...
Including Nashville.
But even more so, well, Nashville is not different, but Branson, all the major pop singers and more country singers have their own
studio
place there where they appear there for like 6 months. So when you're tired of touring, you just open your own thing in Branson. So people just come to see you. You don't go to see them anymore. They come to see you. So the whole town economy is built around music.
Boy, Doc, I'm really going to have to get you to come back and we have a one-hour discussion, because whenever we get to start talking, there's just never enough time.
Whenever you're ready, my brother, in my show.
Okay. Dr. Leahcim Semaj there, a noted consumer psychologist and commentator, giving us his insights on the creative knowledge sector within the country and some of the things that we really need to give thought and consideration to. And one of the things that he said that is really, really serious, that we really need to recognize and believe in ourselves.